Here's the deal. For the last, let's say, 4 months, I've been eating 1 to 2 meals a day. So I've been either fasting um, for 24 hours a day, eating basically only once a day, dinner time, or I would do a small lunch and my main meal at dinner. So I would have 2 meals a day on occasion. And for the first about a month, the first month, I had only 1 meal a day for 30 days straight. And I learned a thing or two about how my body reacts to certain dietary tweaks and about how to eat for optimal, number one, optimal health, and number two, optimal physical performance. This is always what I strive for. This is always what I want for myself and my clients. It's not just about looking fucking fantastic when you take your clothes off. It's also about performing a certain way. I have a certain standard for myself that I will never give up. I know what my body is capable of when I'm healthy, when I'm well fed, and when everything is just in working order, when I'm a well-oiled machine. I know that I can reach levels that are, superhuman to some, that are, beyond imagination for a lot of people. And I know because I hear this all the time. So this is not just me showboating. This is just me spitting facts. Anyhow, here's what I want you to understand. What I learned in these last 3 months, 4 months, is that not eating is the single greatest health tool that I've found. It is up there with calorie restriction, but it brings this whole thing to another level. So not eating, fasting, intermittent fasting, whatever you want to call it, if it's done properly, and if you then nourish your body properly when you do resume your eating, it's fucking amazing. It is amazing. So why am I raving about this? Despite the fact that as I was following a fasting focused lifestyle, as I was following this fasting routine, my body didn't change much. In fact, I did even gain a little bit of weight. I gained a little bit of body fat because, yeah, I wasn't monitoring, I wasn't controlling my calories. So I would, even in that 1 meal a day, my appetite knows no limit. So I can easily put away 4,000 calories in 1 meal. So I would just gorge myself in 1 meal. And then obviously, what do you know? You gain weight. It doesn't matter if you fast all day, if your body basically burns fat all day just to maintain homeostasis, and then you're only feeding once a day. It does not matter. At the end of the day, calories are king. So if you don't control for calories, if you don't eat sufficient protein, you're gonna look like shit no matter what diet you follow, okay? So despite all that, despite the fact that I wasn't as sharp as I used to be beforehand, my skin was never as good as after fasting for 30 days. My sleep was never as deep and restful, and my mind was never as clear, as sharp as it was after adopting a fasting routine, a daily fasting routine, that is. So what I take away from this and what I want you to experiment with is that you have to give your body a break from eating and digesting every now and then. It does not have to be daily necessarily, but you have to have a couple days a week where you skip a meal, skip 2 meals, fast for 24 hours, and just eat 1 meal a day. Do that and you will know what I'm talking about. And that's number one, that's health. Number two, and maybe more important than health, is fasting will make you harder. It will give you what you're lacking in your life: discipline. balls, if you will. It will make you a more disciplined, a better individual. So, if you can handle hunger pangs throughout the day, if you can handle waiting for 24 hours until your next meal, there's very few things out there that will phase you. You will notice that you become more calm, more focused, and just more alive in a sense by going for many, many, many hours without food. So yeah, it was a great experience for myself. Yet here I am sitting before you. I'm not doing daily fasts, but I did adopt something, and this for me is a game changer, and that's I don't eat around the clock. So I will only eat 2 meals a day, sometimes even one enormous meal a day. But I don't force myself to go many, many hours without food. I don't force myself to do 24-hour fast or to push my meals as far back as possible. No, in actuality, I even started eating earlier in the day and just cutting my eating time um, earlier in the day. So I would, for instance, I would eat lunch and then maybe have like another meal late lunchtime, late afternoon, and then I wouldn't have dinner. I wouldn't eat till next day, till lunchtime or breakfast, whatever. I would give my body these 16 to 20 hours almost every day of not eating, of fasting, of regenerating. And it is amazing. It works amazingly well. It's an experiment I dare you to try for yourself, okay? It's not the magic bullet, you know? Intermittent fasting is bullshit if you don't control your calories, okay? If you feel like you can just, abstain from food for a couple hours and then just gorge on junk food and eat a crap diet and disregard calorie intake, you're gonna look like shit, okay? At the end of the day, calories are king. But there's nuances to this dieting thing. There's nuances to perfecting to mastering your health and your body. And fasting, to me personally, plays a huge role in that. Okay, so for me, I will always maintain some form of fasting in my, maybe not my daily, but my weekly routine. Eating 2 meals a day will always be my go-to routine. Eating one meal a day is what I will do on and off if I feel I need that additional time without food. And again, I'm not doing this to look a certain way, to be more shredded. In fact, I find that if I eat more often throughout the day, like 3 or 4 meals a day, it is easier for me to stick to calorie deficit than if I were to wait all day till dinner and then just eat my meal, because then as soon as dinner time comes around, I'm starving and I could just eat nonstop. So that is that. It's not the magic bullet. It's not you know, the hormonal master key that people tell you about on all these websites, forums, videos. I mean, intermittent fasting is all the rage these days. Take it for what it's worth. And most importantly, take it with a grain of salt. Even this video, all right? But I want you to experience this power of not eating. I want you to have this mental freedom, this knowledge that, hey, I don't need to eat every 3, 4, 5 hours. I don't have blood sugar issues if I don't eat every 3, 4, 5 hours. My body is a perfect machine and can go for days without eating. Your body, I mean, depending on how much body fat you're carrying, it can go for weeks without eating without detrimental effects. Yes, energy will be low during those weeks, and hunger might be high for the first couple days. After that, don't worry about it. But your body is incredibly adaptable, and overeating and frequent feeding are the two worst things you can do to your body. So eating too much, number one, and eating too often, which is something I only learned in the last half a year. Eating too often will fucking destroy your body over time. Okay? So play around with it. Keep an open mind. Always keep an open mind. When you hear about concepts like this, when you hear about my training concepts, which, you know, change ever so often, you know, one week I train 3 days a week, and the next week I train every single day. I don't follow any rigid protocols, but I do follow the fundamental rules. Fundamental rules for strength training is get stronger over time. Don't waste time in the gym, and don't do too much work. Do not overstay your welcome in the gym, otherwise you'll burn out. The fundamentals for the diet is number one, calories are king. Number two, you gotta eat sufficient protein if you want to look good naked, build muscle, get stronger. And number three, you gotta make your diet work for you. Nobody tells you that, right? So for me, for my personal lifestyle, eating 2 meals a day, and sometimes eating 1 meal a day, is incredibly liberating, because I don't have to think about food all the time. And once you bring your diet, your meal frequency down to 1 meal a day, even if it's just for a week, you will understand, you will realize how time-consuming your diet is, how time-consuming it is to prepare your meals, to cook your meals, to sit down to eat, and how much better off you are focusing on different things in life. Yeah, there's other things behind dieting and training, although those are my two favorite things to talk about, and those are the things that I'm incredibly proficient at. They're not the only things, the only driving forces in my life, and they certainly shouldn't be the only driving forces in your life. So again, take this in for what it's worth. Enjoy the rest of your evening, rest of your day. I'm gonna go take a shower and go to sleep. Also, one more thing before I leave. My book, Lean Machine, breaks down everything you need to know about how to diet, how to train, and how to live for not only a body that will drop jaws left and right, but also for a life that does not revolve around your fitness. Fitness should enhance, should complement your life, your daily routine. It should never consume your daily routine. It should never define who you are as a person and what you do every day. So this is why I wrote Lean Machine. I wrote it, to get rid of all the dieting bullshit myths that are out there, all the fitness myths that are out there, but also to give you a routine that you can use every day and that blends seamlessly with your lifestyle. A routine that complements your lifestyle and does not consume it, all right? So check it out if you want. If not, your loss. And we'll talk soon. I'm out.